What's going on, everyone? We just wanted to take a second to thank you for all your support so far. It means the world to us. Also, wanted to give a special shout out to our partner and friends at Mahon River Farm. They are your local source of pasture raised poultry. Make sure to give my buddies Alex and Tom a call and arrange a time to check out their farm and pick up some meat for the freezer. No steroids, no hormones, just all natural chickens. Give them a follow on Facebook and tell them we sent you. Thanks for tuning in to the Upper Bay Podcast. What's going on? We're back. It's the Upper Bay Podcast, and we got all the boys back in the house, and we have a world champion in the house. Probably the one and only time we will ever have that. Mr. John Walls. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you can make it out. I know it was such a far drive for you.
I know, dude. I was like, I wonder how far it is. I looked on the maps. I'm like, Jesus, you're only like 25 minutes from me. I can do that for sure. It's better than Zoom.
Yeah, I had another guy possibly coming on, and you might know Cedar Swamp Decoys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he might come on, and I was like, look, man, I know, like, we could do Zoom if it's too far or whatever. And he's like, where do you live? And I told him, and he's like, man, it's only 28 minutes. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, people don't realize how close we are to like Newark.
Right.
We're like 5 minutes away.
Right.
Literally 5 minutes from Newark.
It's so convenient being here, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna get into a little bit of everything today. You brought some sheds with you. We'll get into that, and
Good God.
I'm sure we will mostly talk deer hunting, but I wanted to get into the waterfowl stuff a little bit first.
Yeah, man.
So just give everybody a little background on your champion status.
I hate talking about it, honestly.
How?
I guess I'm too humble. But, yeah, I'm currently the back-to-back world goose calling champion.
Is that weird to say?
It is. It is. Like I'll think about it going down the road. I'm like, I won that son of a bitch. But I've been after it for 18 years.
Right.
I've been contest calling for 18 years. Yeah, I've won 7, I think, world titles between like duck calling, world live duck, world team, world live goose, stuff like that. I can go on and on about the different types of contests. But
Right.
yeah, travel across the country in the summertime, going to different contests, and
That's bad.
it's a big part of my life, man.
How did
Yeah.
you get into that?
My best buddy Alex, he's the one who introduced me to waterfowl. And I grew up deer hunting and squirrel hunting, really. But
Yeah, Alex Bow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he went goose hunting for the first time, and we were friends. And he went on this hunt, and he's like, "Oh, my buddy gave me a goose call. Look at this! I learned how to honk on it." I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome! Like, I want to do that. And that's where it started. And then yeah, we went to the first contest in 2007, and I was ruined ever since. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I mean, I would assume you're practicing 365.
Not anymore. Nah, I think all those years of like when I first started, I mean, dude, I would get off the school bus. I'd blow my freaking goose call till I went to bed and wake up in the morning. I didn't want to go to school.
Wow.
I couldn't put a number on the hours I put into it, but now it's kind of like riding a bike.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Right.
it's mostly just getting your lungs back. I mean, blow a couple of routines, and I do the same stuff every routine now. So my routine's set. It's just getting my lungs back up and
Right.
rolling with it.
When we had Bo on, and you probably know Bo.
Very well.
We talked a little bit about
Good
that.
buddies with Bo.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bo.
Hell of a snakehead fisherman, dude.
Dude, he's
Hell of a
Whack.
hell.
He's always out there.
So I took him fishing a couple of years ago in the Susquehanna, and he got into catching the cows too with me, and he's really turned into a good fisherman up there too. He's learned that. He pretty much, I mean, I took him once, but he pretty much taught himself the rest. You know, and he caught a lot of big fish. He caught some nice ones this year too.
It seems like every day snakehead fishing.
Dude,
Does he even work? Good lord.
Yeah, he works night shift.
I think it's his
Ah,
work schedule.
Yeah, he
right?
works
He's able to
nights,
go out.
so he's able to. Dude, he goes before work in the morning. He goes
Damn.
all he's good, man. I went with him one time to one of his spots. We kayaked, and I'm fucking casting, and I'm not catching shit. I caught a bunch of crappie, and he's just flipping all over and catching snakeheads left and right. I'm like, dude, what are you doing different than I'm not doing?
Right.
But he's good at it.
We'll have to have a little snakehead tournament, him versus Mason. See what happens.
Yeah, that'd be
probably got it.
I know, man. He fishes them. He's got them figured out.
Right.
He was catching pickerel today.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. He sent me a Snapchat.
No kidding.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Anyway.
anyway, sorry we got lost. But yeah, he was saying the same thing. Like it's pretty much you have like your same routine every time, and you just kind of blow that. But the whole tournament thing is crazy to me, just because of like how do you judge that? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why they have 5 different opinions back there. I guess
Right.
it's like there's a set thing. It's like they judge you on different sections of your routine, and what you do in those sections is what they'll judge you off of. But
Gotcha.
it's all personal opinion.
Right. That is
So-
it is weird because there's like in like sports, there's a structured layout, and there's really is like I mean in like fighting there's a little bit of opinion, I guess, but it is all
Right.
about how many, punches and knockdowns and all that. But like when you're calling, I mean, I guess it is really just opinion on how good it sounds. So.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody will think. I mean, one person will think it was great. One guy think it's okay.
Right.
It's all across the board. But
From what I've heard, sounds pretty good.
it's worked out.
It's got to be unfair when you're actually goose hunting, dude. Like you could probably just talk them out of the heavens.
Well, dude, I mean, I have days where they'll just fly by and give you the finger. But there is days where it's like they're migrating,
Yeah,
and there's people not killing them,
calling
and
makes
we'll get them.
difference.
We'll get them.
Yeah.
It's like I don't do it for like the competitiveness. I don't really have a competitive bone in my body. Like I don't really care about going up and beating everybody. I just want to do the best I can do personally. But
Yeah.
and that's what helps me in the field too. Just having that
Yeah.
little thing in my back pocket. Yeah, I'll call them some bitches. I'm not in this guy. I'll try it. Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I think I hunted with you one time. It was like me, you, the Coffees, and we were hunting one of those like ponds back there by Long's Pond.
Yeah.
And dude, it was like the first time they were like, John's coming. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to listen to him call like geese. Like this is gonna be wild. And we had there was a toll of geese. They were real high. We had like busted a little hole in a pond. Remember, it was like that ice hole.
It was like the last day of the season.
Yeah. Dude. And you started calling at those geese, and they were flying, and you started ripping on them, and they just stopped, put the brakes on, and just floated right down. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I was like, this is wild. I think we ended up smoking them pretty good that day.
Yeah, that was a good hunt.
That's awesome.
It does make a difference when you get in the blind with, like I've hunted with Bo and all those guys he hunts with,
Mhm.
down in Earlville and stuff, man. You jump in the pit or the blind with them, and that's what makes or breaks some people is like it sets you apart from the rest of the guys, like guys that
Yeah.
aren't killing, and then you get a group of callers that can really blow a goose call, and them birds just give it up.
Yeah.
That's so cool to when, yeah, it's sweet.
See, I wish I could see it from like the like your guys' side.
Right, yeah.
Dude, this is awesome. It's like, yeah, let's just do it all the
Just,
time.
yeah, just another day.
Like I want to go experience that.
Right.
Maybe like a turkey caller or something. Like go with the world champion.
That'd be
turkey
wild.
caller. Yeah,
Wow.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that stuff. Those turkey calling competitions are insane, man. They're so cool.
It's so realistic. I mean, goose calling and duck calling, yeah, it's close.
Like the
Right.
live
Turkey
too,
callers,
especially.
yeah. Those
Yeah.
turkey callers, man. It's like a bird's nest stage. It's wild.
They like walk around with the wings and like flap the wings around and shit, man. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, like with the goose calling, you can still tell like it's a contest routine. Or I mean, the lives, I don't know, the lives they can sound pretty freaking realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The team one,
Yeah,
that sounds
especially
especially good
like
when you're
the-
like feeding off of each other and
Yeah.
you're talking and stuff. Like that's
Like
pretty
the-
wild.
The team like live duck or live goose,
Do
I
you
think is really cool.
do you do the team?
I do.
Yeah. Who do you
Yep.
run with?
So the last couple of years, I've been working with this young boy from like Avondale, PA. His name
Okay.
is Josh Elchinski.
Okay.
He's 18, but dude, the kid's just a true talent. He's awesome.
Really?
So the last couple of years, I've been doing it with him, and we finished 4th the last 2 years, so that was good. But before they turned it to a team live, it was just like competition style teams.
Okay.
And I won 3 with Trevor Shanahan. He's
Okay.
from Millington.
Nice. Yeah.
He's one of the best all around duck
He's
sellers.
He's maxed out on championships, right?
Yeah, well, so he won 2 world championships, and then he won the champion of champions. So
Oh wow.
you're allowed to win up to 3 world goose calling championships, and then you can win a champion of champions. But even if you win 1
Right.
world, you're qualified to blow in the champion of champions. And if you win
Wow.
that, you're retired. You're done.
Wow.
So even if I don't win another world goose, and in 2025, that's when they have it every 5 years.
Right.
If I go win it in 2025, I'll be done.
Nice.
Retired, which is the goal. I don't care if I don't win one again. If
Yeah.
I get retired, I want to be retired.
It's kind of
Yeah.
cool that they like not necessarily. Well, I guess I mean they are forcing you to retire after so many wins, but I gotta imagine there's a lot of people that are entering this every year. You know, like it's just a constant restock of callers.
Yeah. How many guys are normally in competing at Worlds, like for the contest routine, like the World Goose? Yeah.
So that one kind of varies each year. I think last year there was 18, but out of those 18, it was like that was the top dogs, man. It's like anybody's game.
Right. Yeah.
Back in like 2011, I remember there was like 40 some back then. So every year varies. I mean, the economy that plays a big part in it. I mean, there's people come from like the Midwest. That's a big part. You know, traveling all the way out here, they just can't do it. Or you know, it's just tough. It's during their hunting season. It's during our hunting season. And,
Yeah, I mean that's what you're saying because the World Championship is always in Easton, right? And
always
that is like, is it October? I thought it was first week of November.
Remember, second week in November.
Second, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's always on that.
I wouldn't be there.
It's always on that
in the rut.
yeah, it's always on that like opening day of ducks or the second split of ducks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always remember like people, you going? And I'm like, fuck no, I'm going duck. Or I'm deer hunting. You know.
Yeah.
I'd love to go, but
yeah, I have actually never been just because of that reason. Like, I'm deer hunting, man.
Dude,
you know,
believe me, that's why I want to get retired. Go back deer hunting. I think out of the 18 years I've been going to Easton, just 1 year with COVID, they canceled the contest. They got the deer hunt then. My dad shot a really nice deer opening morning. It was awesome. Yeah, I'm like, God. And then one other year, I think a leap year or something, whatever, mess with it, and I was able to hunt. And I think I shot a deer that day too. So like, I'm missing out on deer blowing a fucking goose call. I'm ready to get back in the stand.
Yeah, at least it pays money, man. At least you're not doing it. I mean, I'm sure guys are doing it just for fun because they love it, you know. But at least there is some kind of incentive in it. You know?
Yeah, it's cool. Me, I can care less about all that. I mean, the trophy's pretty cool. It's
that goose.
Yeah, wooden goose, Charles Jobs. I mean, that's the Super Bowl trophy. Right, you know?
Right.
Well, there, the guns and ammo, all that shit's cool, but I care less about it.
Right.
I just want to do it for me.
You've probably gotten to meet a lot of cool people and a lot of companies.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, contest calling has opened so much doors for me. I mean, right after high school, I moved to Ohio to work for Zinc Calls.
Oh wow,
Fred Zink. I'm sure you guys know heard of that. Yeah, I mean, that was a big. I mean, he's kind of faded off the map now.
Right.
But yeah, back then, man, he was in his heyday. I mean, he was the shit. Yeah. Yeah, I was working for him.
Really?
So
I still blow at house. Power clucker.
Oh yeah, awesome call.
My first goose call, and that's what I learned.
Duck calls.
Yeah, I blow. Yeah, power hen or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like that green machine, that ATM green machine.
Oh yeah,
something.
Yeah.
I don't blow on, but I think I learned on.
You can afford the high dollar calls. I got to buy the cheap one.
I know. I'm an RM guy now.
Dude. Yeah, don't make some badass.
Oh yeah,
dude. You know.
What do you blow in your competitions?
For goose, I blow Bay Country calls. A fellow named John Taylor makes them. He's in Quantico,
Maryland, right?
Yeah,
Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maryland.
I have a similar relationship like we had with John. Just social media, and like every year on my birthday, he sends me a message like "Happy birthday, man!" I'm like, "Thanks, bud." I've never actually met you, but you're super nice.
That's the thing. He is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. I mean, he is a hell of a dude, man. Once you get to know him, he gets even better. Really, he kind of keeps himself, tame to people he doesn't know. But he's a dude. He was the guy doing my wedding. He married me and my wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So he's just, awesome guy.
Have you always blown his stuff?
No. So I started off, I've kind of blown a lot of different call companies throughout the years. I started off blowing foils.
Okay.
Started off on a straight meat honker. Then I moved to Tim Grounds.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Legend.
Dude.
Yeah.
Awesome dude.
Legendary.
I miss him. I really do.
Dude. We'll go back. I got to tell a story about Tim. But keep going. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I miss him, dude. Like, at contests, he'd come up. Hey, I mean, he put his hand around your neck, but he'd squeeze you. Like, fuck, that hurts. Like, you're listening. And then I started blowing Zinc calls when I worked for him and stuff. Blew them for a lot of years, and now I'm with Bay Country, and I'll never leave.
Right. Yeah.
And I blow Stumps, RM, duck calls.
Yeah. Same. I think I'm making the switch to Bay Country this year.
You should, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I picked up, Luke Hatton. You probably know Luke. I picked up his. I think it was a Sure Thing. I think he was blowing one.
Yeah.
That neon green one.
No, that's a Molkier. I'm getting away from. I like Molkier. I mean, they're good calls. I learned how to goose call on them pretty well. Actually, I learned on Tim Grounds, but then I went to Molkier.
Gotcha.
But I think I'm gonna make the switch this year. To
Bay Country calls are great.
Bay Country. Yeah.
Once you get the guts broken. Like about some broken guts. It's like They're sticky. They're tough, but maybe once you get them broken,
And those
it's
are
like
real clean and crispy though.
it turns into a whole different call, man. You get them things broken, it's like
They're sweet.
so fucking nice.
They're sweet.
Mason's lost. He's not a not an honest.
He's like mouth wide open.
I got butts. What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, that I was gonna say Tim, he was just a good guy, man. I remember so me and my brother, we were probably 10 and 12 when we started goose hunting, and that was the first hunting we ever did. And we didn't know what calls to buy, so we both got Tim Grounds. I think my brother got a Super Mag, and I can't even remember what call I had, but he sent a camo Bible to our house and like wrote a whole thing in it. And then we got the Bible and we're reading it and stuff, and that was cool. And then a couple of weeks go by and he called. Somehow he got our phone number.
Right.
I saw him, the caller ID popped up, said Tim Brown, something Illinois. He was like, and I answered it and he was like, hey, what? Just seeing if you got my mail. And I was like, yeah. And I would talk to him on the phone, and like, he was just like nice and encouraging us. And like, man, just get to learn that call. And talked on the phone with him for a couple minutes. And I just think like he went above and beyond to like do that for like some young kids, just to call them. I thought that was super cool.
He was, man. He was just a special guy. I really do miss him. He was just so good for the sport. And
oh yeah,
you know, everybody says like, you know, if contest calling was a oak tree, he was the trunk.
Right, you're right.
That's where it all started from. He had a hand in everything.
He was good too.
Yeah, very good.
I never met him, but I saw those videos from his funeral and everybody blowing the calls and stuff.
Oh, that was badass. Yeah, it was really cool.
Freaking nice.
Yeah. Well, did you ever blow Trevor's stuff? The black
a little bit. I actually do blow one of his Main Street duck calls.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do blow one of the black calls. But
I did not realize his calls were like collectible calls. Like I follow one of his pages on Facebook, and my God, dude, like people are they go crazy for that shit, dude. It is wild.
Yeah,
I actually. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. So he's just a hell of a craftsman. I mean,
right.
I mean, those calls are beautiful.
That's what I actually got away from blowing a short reed, and I just only goose call I have on my lanyard right now is a black timber, a shockwave flute.
Oh yeah,
it was Bose, and I bought it.
Oh, no kidding.
And I was like, man, he'd always hunt with me, and I'd see that call, and he'd be blowing it, and I'm like, that thing's badass. Then he just randomly hit me up this off season, was like, you want to buy it? And I was like, yeah, I want to buy it. I'd love to. He gave me a pretty good deal on that. So, dude, I love blowing a flute.
Dude,
it just gives you a little different sound.
It's different, yeah. And if you can do it right, they sound goosey as hell.
It pretty much blows just like a short reed, I feel like, for the most part.
Yeah, these new ones, man, it's like, you don't have to present your hair different, hold your hands different. It was just roll with it.
Yeah.
And you got that flute sound.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
It's funny how like that was the standard, and we've moved to the short reeds from there.
Right.
You know? Like,
it's like,
I feel like when we were kids and hunting with my dad and stuff, like that's all he blew was a flute.
Right.
Flute. And then eventually had like a night inhale, exhale. Did you ever blow one of those?
No.
Dude, he used to be able to rip on that thing. But yeah, I don't know. I never opened it up. Yeah, I never opened up to see how
that's kind of
reeds were in there. But yeah, if you blew on it, it would call, and then when you inhaled, it would also call.
Would it do like a look?
Yeah, so you could do that.
That's pretty cool.
To, like actually,
that's pretty wild.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't think about that.
Still got that thing. Yeah, he used to rip on that.
Damn.
Yeah, the flutes are cool. That's definitely, dude. The coolest routine I've ever seen. I think. No offense. Was probably Dave Coleman.
Oh,
the dude with the freaking diaphragm.
He talks about this.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? They were originally made for turkey calls.
Right.
Turkey calls.
Right.
To like Yelp, I think you could gobble on them if you're real good. But dude, he did that live goose routine with that thing, and I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
It was badass.
He went up there, and we're like, oh, good luck, boys. We're all calling for second. That's 1 of 3 years in a row.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
He hit that one section. It's like, go. Yeah, and it's like, it makes the hair stand up on the back of the neck. Like, we talk about like turkey callers being realistic. That is the most realistic I've ever heard anybody.
Wow. It sounds like a mating pair of geese, just like in the spring. You can just picture that. Like, it puts that picture in your head.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you and Bo were talking about him. I don't know if I've ever watched one of his routines.
Go on YouTube tonight and look it up and just check. It was a little like 2013 or something, or
might have been like
after.
17 or something like that.
that.
Yeah, it was a few years ago.
Yeah,
I was
check it
beat
out.
him one year. I couldn't believe it. I was like one point away from him. I'm like, damn, hell yeah. That was pretty cool because I mean, there was no beating him, man. Like,
It just sounded so
awesome.
real. And the fact that he did it on one of those is just, it's, who makes them?
So Sean Mann started making them,
Right,
but I think
yeah.
through Dave Coleman they had a little deal going on.
Okay.
But I think Dave was just making them himself.
No
The call he blew on, I don't know the whole story, but it's like he's pretty big into like the fire company wherever he's at,
Yeah.
and I guess their firehouse was getting remodeled or something. It was a big cherry door or something, so he took the door, made a whole bunch of calls, and that's what he
Really?
blowing off of. It was like a sentimental thing with his call.
That's badass.
It's pretty cool, but yeah, I've never tried one, but like I know like Trevor picked one up and he's talented. He's like, it's like a damn kazoo. Damn noise.
I thought about doing it and just trying it.
Just
and I'm
try
like,
it,
dude,
yeah.
I mean, probably wouldn't be able to figure it out, but I mean, you never know.
Right. Hey man, it might be your thing.
Yeah. And I'll be like, wow, you sound great on that
I
thing.
mean, the hand to be down there winning the live goose.
That's like
Yeah, that'd be wild.
turkeys. I really want to try like a wing bone call.
Yeah.
Seeing those like
Yep,
that, or the
yeah.
trumpets or whatever. Yeah, they look pretty cool. I've never messed with one of them, but
Yeah.
That guy, what's his name? He's from like out west. He works for Higdon. He's got longer hair. Can't remember his name.
Brooke Rashaw?
No. But
Oh, Bo Brooks.
Bo
Oh,
Brooks,
yeah.
dude, I was watching some of his turkey calling.
Oh my God.
And I was like, whoa, he's like one of those guys that can go to that tournament and compete in like a turkey calling tournament. I was just like, that's insane.
that huge
Yeah.
gap in his teeth, it's got to help.
I know, right?
That's got to. I mean, he just makes some noises on a turkey
Yeah,
call.
he
I
is
was like,
super realistic, dude. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah,
Have you seen his stuff, Mason?
I haven't. No.
Yeah, he pops up on like TikTok and stuff
Yeah,
all the
really,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's
yeah.
crazy how much he sounds like a turkey.
oh yeah.
His diaphragm calls, it's insane. He can do all the bubble clubs,
bubble clubs,
and
that sounds
the
cool.
kikis and the purrs and all that. Like it's insane what he
Yeah.
can do.
Sounds just like a hen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yes,
it
it
sounds
does.
literally like you're right there with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
It's wild.
wild.
That makes a difference too. I'm sure. Like we
Right.
talked about the calling with good callers, goose hunting that sets you apart. I bet you that sets him apart in the woods.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
like-
it makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. If you're turkey hunting, like you just had this experience when you're sitting there and you're calling, and then you got a live hen that's talking. It's
Right.
I mean, obviously, like
Never
to
Wow.
you and the hen, it obviously sounds different. Not to a turkey, it might not sound too much different, but
I wonder how many times you're in the woods and, I mean, I can yelp and like purr a little bit and shit like that, but I'm not the best. I mean, it's worked. I've killed turkeys, but I wonder how many times you're in the woods and you're calling and a old smart Tom's like, yeah, that ain't real. Fuck that. Like, there's no way. It sucks.
probably
Like,
a lot.
You think that happens?
Probably.
Probably
Probably.
pretty often.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of guys that just go out there and just
Yeah, you just yelp and yelp.
you know
evolve.
over and over, and they don't do
Yeah.
anything different. You know, it's like at some point, an older Tom is probably like
Something's not right.
off there.
Something's not kosher in
Yeah,
there.
'cause you never
Running
really,
away.
even when the hens are talking, they're not like yelping a ton. You know, just a little bit here and there, and then they're
Yeah.
just purring around and scratching and purring and scratching.
I told you about that time I had that one jump on the log, like at my feet and start
Right.
running back and forth.
Right.
I had no idea how she never saw me. She was like from me to John, just running back and forth. And I was like trying not to move my head. I was like, this is fucking crazy. She was like on the log, like yelping and doing all kinds of turkey noises.
Yeah.
And the Tom, she brought the Tom right in. My buddy shot him. Tim shot him. Yeah.
What's the craziest waterfowl trip you've ever been on?
Man, probably I went to Texas 2 years ago.
Me too.
Did you?
I just went this past year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we went down there, dude. And, yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was when the Midwest got like hammered with cold weather, like negative temperatures and stuff. And this was maybe right after Christmas, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was whenever all the airport shit went all to hell. Do you guys remember that? Like all like I don't know. I was on my way to the airport at like 2 a.m. to Baltimore. I was flying out of Baltimore. And my wife calls me. She's like, hey, I just checked the status of your flight. It's canceled. And I'm like, fuck, I'm already like an hour into this trip. I'm like, well, I got to go down there and see if I get another flight.
Right.
Dude, I get in there. There's like news crews in the airport. I mean, there were people everywhere. It's like the whole airport aviation thing's like crashed.
Huh.
And it was wild. They're like, yeah, you're not flying out of here today. I'm like, lovely. I'm like,
Yeah, like,
pack
what do
my
I
shit
do?
back up. I'm going to go back home. So I'm calling the guy, and they were flying out of, the people I was going with, they were flying out of Cleveland, I think it was, somewhere up there. We're like, yeah, like it's a mess up here too, but our flight's still going. Like, go home, see if you can get something out of Philly. Obviously, I'm pretty close to Philly. It's only about a half hour. So I go home, I get a flight to Philly, or out of Philly, like 4 that afternoon. And they were supposed to pick me up at the airport. So I'm like, now I got to get a rental car. So I'm booking that. And get up to the airport. Everything goes smooth. I'm boarding the plane. Oh, there's a problem with the plane. Everybody has to get back off. Oh my God damn it. 4 hours later, this is like 9 o'clock at night now. We get back on the plane, and it's delayed because they don't have Gatorade. Like, dude, it was like all these things going. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to make it for the morning hunt. Get all the way to Texas. Finally get a freaking shuttle to the rental car place. This lady's like, I don't have nothing. I'm like, look, I'll take a damn tractor trailer. Like, I need to get out of here. She's like, oh, let me see here. She's like, I got this little Kia Soul. I'm like, dude, I'm hauled ass. I swear to God, I made it to the lodge with 15 minutes to spare before everybody got up and went hunting. Oh my God. Thank God I made it. I mean, dude, it was bad. I mean, that was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was so delirious. And like, if you were there, it's like Texas is different when it's dark. It's black. And I can't see nothing, dude. I'm just going down this road. I mean, I'm getting tired. I'd rather drive hammered drunk than tired. I'm going down this road. I'm like, what the hell? I slam on the brakes. I'm like, there's a damn tree in the road. There was no tree, dude. Like, I was losing my mind. Wow. Head out the window. I'm like slapping myself. And, yeah, finally made it. No, yeah, a shit show to say the least. And I made it. We go hunting, and the guy's like, look, we're gonna bring this other party with you. We have like a mess load of ducks. We're like, all right, amazing. We had 8 people, and they're like, yeah, there's 8 other guys coming too. We're like, Jesus, 16 head. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be done in an hour on ducks. I'm like, what? Dude, it was insane. I don't know. We shot like 130 some ducks. Like, under an hour. Mallards and widgeon, pintail. Like I said, it was just like the perfect storm. Like all that weather in the Midwest, like northern Midwest, like it pushed all these birds down. Next day, same thing. We got into the geese and shit, and I mean, we killed like 160 some birds by 9 o'clock. Like,
see, that's when
just absolutely wild, dude. We weren't hunting, we were killing. Right. I got to work for it, dude. It was wild. So that was like my craziest trip.
What part of Texas were you in?
Wichita Falls, I guess it was.
What outfitter was it with?
Dry Creek Outfitters.
Okay.
That's not Toby Brolin's.
No, we were close to them, I think. But
yeah, was that the dude with the crazy mustache?
Yeah. It's cool, crazy.
I was in Knot City, which isn't far from Wichita Falls.
Yeah,
I was with the Big Honker Lodge.
Oh, yeah. You were. I was an hour north of there then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Man,
it was awesome.
We just don't have that here anymore.
Nah, dude.
I grew up hunting in Smyrna down there with all them boys.
Yeah.
I used to hunt Jimmy Snow's and the Verdon Farm by Bombay Hook.
Some good spots.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You go
spoil you.
Oh yeah, I got spoiled from the time I was like 14 to like 18. I got spoiled.
Right,
and it's all field hunting. And like you can't kill field ducks like that anywhere else around here. I mean, at least not that I know of.
Right, it's tough.
I'm sure you can, but I'm sure like off of prime hook and stuff you can. But dude, we hunt those fields, and one day we had a total like 200 pintails just dirt.
Oh my God!
Would watch them get up off the refuge, and they beeline right at our field, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's gonna happen!" And they started spinning. They're and I was like, "This is fucking crazy."
Oh,
and they pitched in, and we shot teal out of the field there, wood ducks out of the field. Dave, do you know Dave Twardowski, Big Dave?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's who his family hunted that for a while, and his grandfather, it was like 40 years they had it. They leased it. They had a couple pits there, and on Jimmy's, Snow's, and Burton's. Mm-hmm. And dude, it was just, we got spoiled. Yeah. And then behind us was the guy that owns Prime Hook or whatever that
Ducks Unlimited farm.
Yeah, was behind us. It's a giant corn impoundment.
It's not Prime Hook,
King Ranch or something.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name.
I don't
know. Marrow?
No. I can't remember. It'll come to me eventually, but Drapers. The Drapers. Hank Drapers.
Yeah,
that's who it was. Even behind us. And dude, they had flooded corn impoundments. So like the Lipstick River ran next to us. And then we had flooded corn impoundments behind us, and then we had Bombay Hook in front of us and next to us.
Perfect trifecta,
dude. And it was just stupid. Like you could go on a day like, not today, because it's fucking really hot, but like a bluebird day, and you put out like 10 mojos in the field, and we had like 120 field duck. full bodies. And
Jeez.
dude,
You just don't
sit
like
there.
find too many good dry feeds anymore.
No,
like
not
not
right.
feeds. Like it has to be
Yeah.
freaking nasty.
Yeah, it has to be wet and shitty. And
Yeah.
They don't.
But dude, you go on a day and sit in the cornfield, put a bunch of mojos out, and just fucking there were so many ducks one night. We shot our limit, got out of the pit, and it was getting dark. We were picking up decoys, and we left the mojos running, and those ducks started coming off the refuge and from like hang trapers and like the river. The dogs were trying to fucking jump in the air and catch the ducks coming decoy into the mojos. They're trying to catch ducks. And then it was just like we just sat there and watched it. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Soak it in because this ain't gonna last forever.
Exactly.
And I think like the next year we lost it.
Oh,
I was like,
fuck.
God, but it was badass. I mean,
Texas was a lot of cool. Were you hunting peanut fields?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we hunted
Yep.
down there. Well, when we goose hunted, we speckle belly hunted the first day. It was just a 2-day hunt, and it was like just like you were saying. He's like, we're gonna get them. They get here at like 8:00, and then dude, like 8:00 on the dot, you just hear that first
Man,
speckle
I
belly.
love
He's
those
like,
hunts,
here they
man.
come.
Jeez.
They just like, and it was crazy because like they would come, a volley would come in, we'd shoot, they'd get up and go to the next field over, and then eventually they're just like snow geese. They would get up and they would
Hop
track
field.
back and forth. Yeah.
I love them hunts. Like, here you have hunts that are real good, and then you have a couple hunts that suck, and you're like, damn, you get discouraged.
Right.
And then you have those hunts where you just know you're about to fuck them.
Right.
And like, dude, sometimes those hunts are so fun. Like when you just know in your head, like, yeah, we're gonna kill them.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like,
with them.
That's a perfect way to say it. We'll get even with them.
like we have a couple spots we shoot that like my buddy like he'll save for like the perfect storm. Like we'll wait for snow and ice, and he holds a lot of ducks, but he won't touch it until it's perfect. And if it doesn't happen that year, we won't shoot it, and we'll just let it sit.
Right, sure.
And then last year we finally got it at the end of the year. Got that snow and ice. They went in. Of course, I had to work. They went in and shot it, and I was like, "How are you guys doing?" It was like 15 minutes after legal, and they're like, "We're done."
Oh,
and I was on ducks too.
Oh, man.
And I was like, "God damn it, we're fucking stuck at work."
You ever fail?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh,
What are you gonna do? But yeah, so I guess we'll move into the deer hunt now because I can't stop looking at this pile of sheds that's on this table right now, dude. Tell us a little bit what you got there.
yeah, man. I guess I'll go with the big ones up here. So, my job is kind of unique. I work on a 1,000-acre estate, and I live on the property too. So it's like I'm on the property all the time. I know where the deer are, which is a big advantage. So it's like I kind of know, like I would say 85-90% of the bucks that are on the property. This deer showed up. I want to say it was 2016. In January, showed up in January. I was like, wow, that's a really nice deer for up where we're at. And he wasn't much bigger than, or much smaller than these sheds here. Next year, never got a picture of him until January. And the day I got a picture of him, I was at the dentist, and my boss texted me. He's like, hey, I got something I want to show you. And I'm like, oh, I know he found a shed. I didn't really know which one it was. He comes up and he's holding this antler. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that deer's way bigger than I thought. Like
Right.
once I actually, held him, like, wow, that's a stud. I looked for this side forever. And I actually had a memory come up today on my phone. It was 5 years ago today. I found this thing at work. I was mowing this reforestation planting we had. And it was like right next to this person's backyard. And me and my coworker were running tandem on the mower. And I saw like something flip. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty big stick. I better not run that one over. I get off the mower and there it lays. And you can see he just barely clipped the end of the beam with the mower, with the blades. So thank God he didn't run the damn thing over and chew it up. But you can see it's a little.
Have you run some over before?
Not that I know of.
Wow.
Yeah, I have found some that, haven't been run over. But
Right.
yeah, so it's like up where we're at, man, we don't have any agriculture. It's just hay fields or a corn pile from a deer hunter putting corn in the woods. It's like, man, this is a hell of a deer for up there, especially in the mass. We just have
that thing's
pencil racks.
Yeah, that thing's heavy.
So the next year, I'm like, I really want to figure out where this deer's living. The son of a bitch was like living right behind my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm scouting, and I think it was like July, and the racks were pretty developed then. I'm like, holy shit, that's that deer. Dude, I'd scouted every night. Got that deer on a pattern, put up a hang-on stand on this big stick. Jesus Christ. Antlers flying everywhere. But
Dangerous in there.
yeah, I was like, I really want to get them in velvet. And
Oh yeah, because you guys opened the
September 1st. Yeah. Yeah, hunted September 1st. Didn't see him. Deer came out. They all blew, smelled me. I'm like, great, I just screwed this all up. I mean, like, it's in this bowl. It's hard to explain. But I went dove hunting the next night. He showed up right past the tree. I'm like, God damn, I should have went. I figured I blew him out. I was giving him a little rest. Nope, next night he's back. Third night, I didn't hunt because of the thunderstorm. He was out then. Go out the fourth night, he comes in 17 yards on. Hard shot him, and he ran about 50 yards, fell over, full velvet. So,
oh man!
But he didn't grow much more than this. If anything, he actually lost a little bit. But
And how old do you think he was?
I think he's 5.5, 6. I didn't get him aged. I usually let my taxidermist just kind of look at it and tell me. But he's a big deer for September.
Right.
Yeah. I actually I was loading him up in the back of our gator. And since he was in velvet, I mean, it was pretty loose too. Like he was going to shed within 48 hours. I think you could feel it kind of twisting on the tines.
Right.
I lifted him up and I was like trying to watch the antlers. I got a hernia from it right above my belly button. But I got it fixed, but it's back now. The fucking thing failed. But yeah, so this deer gave me a hernia, which is pretty funny. Woke up next
got
morning,
you one
like,
back.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn it. But yeah, these sheds here, obviously you can tell they're all from the same deer. Multiple years. So this deer, I named him Susie's buck because Susie found 3 of these antlers out of the 5 I have. She found this one in my parents' backyard, and I actually passed this deer the year of this antler. He came right underneath, like he was literally against my ladder, and I let him walk because there was a wider one coming behind him, and it's just a pencil rack little deer. But like I said, we don't really grow them that big. But I shot the deer that was behind him with my bow, and she found this antler. I'm like, oh, cool. That's, I put the pieces of the puzzle together. I'm like, that's that deer. I passed. That's pretty cool. Next year, never got pictures of him, or very few pictures. I think there's so many. I forget. But yeah, Susie, my dog, found this antler really close to where the deer shed this one. This one was only like 70 yards away from it. Took me a week to find it. I walked within like 10 yards of it, dude. Just one of those things like wrong angle type thing.
Right.
Missed it. And then, the next year, I got one picture of him in late August. And you can see kind of like something happened here. I don't know. Lost a lot of inches, but I started growing
or something.
Kind of old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Susie found this antler. I found that one. Again, like, dude, it's like this small little home range, like within 5 acres. Like, I'm like, okay, this deer's living, in a pretty small little piece, and it's right in my parents' backyard.
Do you find that a lot with like your older mature bucks? They're real tight. And see, that's what I'm struggling to.
And it's in these oddball spots. It's like, I have like this huge chunk of woods, like heartland piece of woods.
I'm going balls deep in every piece of
I know. And do you find it's in silly spots? Like, it's like, what?
Dude, this deer, well, the next year I killed him, he lived in like an acre patch of bamboo.
It's so small.
Yeah.
In bamboo.
Yep. It was right next to my parents' backyard. So yeah, the next year I saw him in August, and I showed you guys the video earlier, but the deer has fucking huge body. And I'm like, I need to kill this deer, man. And I was literally at my parents' house. My dad's grilling burgers. He's like, Jesus, look at that deer. The deer comes out of the bamboo. He's like shaking it. He takes a big old dump. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, and it made sense. Like, I find all these antlers like right back in my parents' house.
John, get the gun.
I'm like, holy shit, man. And so I put a camera back here, started getting them every night. I'm like, all right, this is sweet. I'm gonna hang a stand. I'm gonna go kill this thing with a bow, especially a beast of a deer like that. Like I said, we have so much hunting pressure up on him. I'm like, I'm sure you guys do here too.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how this deer made it. I think I do. He lives in the freaking bamboo where nobody can hunt.
Right.
And so I put up a hang-on stand, bow hunted him a few times, and it was kind of nice. I'm like, my dad could watch. He's like, yep, just came out of his bed, get ready. I'm like, he's like crossing the field. I'm like sitting there just shaking. I'm like, oh my God.
Tear me up, man.
Oh God. And like, he's coming. Oh my God. And then I see him. He's about 80 yards, turns, just walks the other way. He's never done that before. I'm like, oh my God. Next night, he does the same thing. I'm like, this dude knows something there. Yeah. He's probably watching me. I'm like, all right, let me try walking up the creek and getting in the stand. Nope, same thing. And at that point, it was late September. I'm like, muzzleloader season for us is like early October. I'm like, I can set up my dad, like next to my dad's shed, shoot across the field and shoot him. Like, I had to do something because I had a feeling that deer was going to get killed that year. And like, I want it to be me. And yeah, first, maybe the second day of muzzleloader season, deer comes out 100 yards and I shoot him. and his reaction was great. He mule kicked, took off, tail down. I'm like, sweet. I swear to God, like 5 minutes after I shot him, starts raining. Then it starts pouring. Like, it was like one of these pop-up showers.
Yeah.
I'm like, Christ. So I'm walking through like waist-high grass along this creek. I'm following blood, but it just dwindles out to nothing. He actually crossed the creek. I'm like, that's not good. I mean, he went almost 150 yards at that point. I'm like, let me back out. The next day I go back, and I'm expecting to find a dead deer. You know, I'm walking around. Dude, I walk up on this thing. He's like standing 10 yards from me, staring at me. I'm like, oh my God. And my dog's with me, and he just kind of bounds off. You could tell he's messed up.
Right.
I go home, get my gun, and dude, I got so lucky with this deer. I was creeping up this hill, and I just see the flicker of an ear, and I ease the gun up. He's just staring at me. He's bedded down like in this big blowdown.
Right.
And it took me like an hour to creep up like 30 yards, just enough to get a shot like right at this white patch on his throat. As soon as I did, I finished him off, but I kind of hit him like right in that no man's land.
Yeah.
It was kind of quartering away where it's like, dude, if I was an inch or two higher, probably would have smoked double long. But I was just right there. And, but he bled good.
Right.
But he was just so fucking big. He just took it like a champ, man. And, I had to put a finishing shot on him, unfortunately. That's never fun, but
especially with bullet holes, man, they can fill up for a long time before they start to spill out. You know, it makes it tough.
But yeah, got him, man, and that was awesome just because of the history I had with him and stuff.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's a cool deer. That's the split brows too.
Yeah, you could tell like he didn't grow much. I mean, I don't know what he scores, 100 and maybe 110 inch. I don't know. Right. It's not very big, but the year I killed him, he actually started. He threw. He had double split brows again. He had like devil points off his bases, and he actually grew a G4 on one side. Maybe it was this side. I forget. But yeah, he kind of blew up, and taxidermist sent a tooth out. 8.5 years old.
Wow. Yeah, that's an old deer, man.
So it was pretty cool. Yeah, very cool. Live weight 260.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fatty.
Yeah.
Did you ever go in his bed and just see like what he could see?
After I killed him, yeah. Yep. It was pretty obvious that deer watched me get guys down. And that's why he never came in. He's like, I'm not going that way.
That's crazy.
We're there or not.
Man, it's crazy how they position themselves to do that.
It's wild. Yeah. You know? That's how he got old, I guess. He was just smart.
Watching you. Yeah. Watching people. I feel like you hear about, like, that's what bigger, mature bucks do, is they just get in a weird oddball spot where they have a good line of sight and the, predominant wind over their back, and they just sit and watch.
Right.
I never realized I'm like, I haven't deer hunted seriously hard. So until the past couple of years. So, but yeah, it seems like you find those big mature bucks in just weird spots that you would never expect them to be in. And they use their eyes a lot more than I always thought they just got into the thickest, nastiest stuff they could find, and that's just where they were. But I feel like that's not really always the case. They're always close to thick, nasty stuff that if shit hits the fan, they can take off into it. But I feel like they put their back to it or something like that.
Yeah, they just want that advantage point, at all times.
Yeah, they want to be able to see. And I feel like they watch people. They watch you come in, and they kind of predict where you're going to go, and they go the other way.
Yeah.
Mason, what do you think that big set scores? If you had to guess.
So, how wide was it?
I mean, not super wide. I'd say probably 17.5, maybe.
High 130s? 140s?
Yeah. I'd probably say high 130s.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good deer.
137 range.
I got him rough scored in velvet at 146. I think that's a little big. I don't know. It was just rough, but.
So how does that work, Mason? How does the scoring work in velvet? Do you have to account for the velvet?
So you can't enter in Boone and Crockett in velvet. You would have to strip the velvet off, and most people obviously aren't.
Yeah, they're like, no, that.
Yeah, right.
I don't care that much.
It's pretty much you just score them the same way, and I mean, I don't think it adds that much on.
Okay.
Because especially if we're killing them in like probably that first week of September, like it's not that thick.
No.
Yeah. Right. So I would think that if you measured a deer in velvet and a deer dry, it's probably within a few eighths of an inch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I got you. I wasn't sure if it added any mass to it, like an excessive amount. Because
it looks like it.
Like when you're watching,
you're like, oh my God,
like a tank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never strip the velvet off on.
No,
fuck that. I would never.
Dude, they looked. I mean, they looked so pretty with it on. Like, dude, I would. It would kill me if I shot a nice one and had to take the velvet off.
I got their summer coat still.
Yeah.
Did you do real or artificial?
Real. Yeah, the taxidermist was able to save it. I use Mike Travis in Northeast.
Oh,
yeah.
great dude.
Yeah. I love
Did you
Mike,
go there
man.
today? You said you were going.
I was going to, but he's not quite ready for it.
Okay.
For the rack I have, it's another long story I can get into. I know you want to hear it.
Yeah, but you might as well.
Yeah,
as well, man.
I could have brought sheds. Like I said, with this property, like I kind of have a history with a lot of deer there. So like I have sheds I could just talk for hours on.
Right.
But there's this one deer I can bring up a picture. We named him Tall Brow. Pretty obvious. I mean, his brows are pretty incredible. But yeah, I found his 2.5-year-old match set. Next year, I only found one side. I looked forever for the other one. I think one of our hunters picked it up and he knew I was looking for it. He didn't want to say anything, which I wish he just would have because I'm wasting my time at that point.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So the next year, that's when my dad was after that big buck, and this one was running with my dad's deer, and my dad had the opportunity to kill it, and he's like, I can't believe I didn't shoot that deer. Because he's nice. I mean, I'll show you a picture. But anyway, we were running cameras, and my coworker really wanted to shoot that deer. And the last picture we had of him was October 31st. Deer disappeared after that. Well, November 4th, my wife's going into work early. I was going deer hunting. She was like, oh, well, I woke her up. She's like, I'm going to go into work early. I'm walking in my stand. She's like, I just had a buck run into the side of my car. I'm like, how big was the buck? I'm like, are you or is your car messed up? I've never asked that. Wanted to know how big the buck was. She's like, it had a big rack. I mean, she doesn't know, but she knew nice deer. I'm like, oh, Christ. Her car's beat up a little bit. No big deal, but didn't really put two and two together till I was shed hunting. I found him dead. And yeah, he's just a beauty, man. I'll find the picture here soon. But
How many guys are hunting that property with you?
on the 1,000 acres, we have 26 people.
God damn, 1,000 acres?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How do you even cover 1,000 acres?
Grid, man. Yeah, it's a
Mason's
lot.
like just chomping at the bit, waiting for an invite.
I'll get you up there. But yeah, here he is. Here you can, when I found him dead, you can see how tall his brows are.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man.
I'll get a better picture. I Euro mounted them.
16-inch brows.
Dude,
Holy shit. They're at least 12, 13 inches. They're taller than his G2s.
What about taller than that 8-pointers?
Maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So I got a salvage tag and stuff, and I got Mike to get me a cape for it, just because of the history I have with him too. I'm like, and my wife.
Oh, you're gonna mount him?
Yeah. My wife's CRV killed him.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that was what killed him?
It was like 50 yards away.
Real?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
Good thing he didn't break those brows off.
I know,
Yeah.
dude. That's the thing. It's like, and she said like she ran over, or the deer ran into her. So it's like, but she ran over with her back tire. So I'm guessing maybe it was his rear end or something.
Right.
Because he came off a hill and slipped on the road, and she like kind of ran over him, I guess. But
I've hit one like that, a doe, but I could like just caught her sprinting out of my peripheral, and when she hit the road, she tried to do a 180 real quick, and I just clipped the back end of her, I think
Yeah.
sometimes that's what happens. They try to spin out and
yeah,
just catch them. But
yeah, I'm getting him out of it. Mike's not quite ready for it yet, so I'm like, I'll hold on to it. Dude, I know.
that big 8, my buddy, it was at Mike's for like 2.5 years before he got it back, and he's got another one there that's like, it's still a year out. It'll be 2 years by the time he gets that one.
I'm fine with waiting just because I know what I'm getting with him.
Right.
Yeah, I love his work, but I wish he would just do like turkeys and deer. I love his turkeys. I love his deer. His ducks, I mean, he's a great taxidermist.
Right.
Yeah.
I just have different people do my waterfowl stuff. Was like, I wish he would just specialize in something, raise his prices a little bit, and have a little bit quicker turnaround.
Yeah. Right. I'm surprised he hasn't hired more people. I mean, obviously I don't know how many taxidermists are out there for hire.
Right.
But at one point in my life, I was thinking about doing that, and I had messaged him if he would take like an apprentice or whatever, and he was like, I'm too busy to even teach.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, but I just don't even have the time for that.
Dude.
Yeah.
I take my deer to Shore Taxidermy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Down to Eric in Chestertown.
He does great work too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I took that 9-pointer. I just got it back. I killed him in 2022, and I just got him back.
Yes. It's
Oh, nice.
a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
That seems to just be the normal anymore. Man.
Yeah.
It used to be like a year, and then it slowly turned into a year and a half, and now everybody's like 2 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ricketts Mill, Ricketts Mill apparently does good work.
The dude that did Hunters,
Is that where he took? Yeah.
because Hunter got his like a
Yeah.
couple days ago.
I think Hunter
Yeah.
could say it was off Ricketts Mill Road. He couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
Tad got
Monster?
one mounted.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was
Right?
Monster. Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
Yeah, but I think it was monster taxidermy or something like that.
Is that what it's called? I
Yeah, off of
I
record.
know where
I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. I've never heard of it.
I think you kind of know the guy. He does good work and his turnaround's pretty quick. But
Right.
like you said, like with Mike and like you know what you're getting with them, and it's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive, but it's you know
It's worth it.
Especially with a
want-
deer of a lifetime or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
for sure.
I hold my taxidermy at a high level, man. I dust them off every week.
Yes.
Yeah, my whole first floor is just my dead shit everywhere. I give a lot of props to my wife. But
That's badass. Yeah, they're not doing turkeys anymore. When I went down and picked my buck up down at Shore, he said we're done doing full body turkey mounts. I guess they're gonna do fans,
Mhm.
and but he said it's just too much. He wants to just do deer, and I feel like I mean the turkeys. Don't get me wrong, they look really freaking good, but I feel like their deer is like unmatched.
Right.
Like it's just their deer is like what they specialize in. I feel
Right.
like. And I guess they just want to they want to focus on that. Probably to get their turnaround a little faster.
Faster, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I like a taxidermist that's like specialized in something.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Like a guy who's in like north of Lancaster. He's like a Mennonite kind of, but dude, he won like the Pennsylvania State waterfowl bird the last couple of years. I mean, you're gonna pay for it,
Yeah.
but my God, it is like pristine, dude. It's
Right.
awesome.
Bo was showing me
Love it.
some guy.
It's probably him.
It's some it's like something studio or something or
Feather artistic.
yeah,
or
that's it.
something.
That's it. Yeah, that's him. He was showing me like his Instagram. Like
Yeah.
he specializes in waterfowl,
Okay.
and I was like, wow. Like I've got some ducks done up and they look good, but like
Mhm.
these are like like he brings them back to life.
Right. They're
Next level.
top notch.
Yeah, like it's insane.
I mean, it all comes down to the person, I think, too, what you want. It's like, you want something mediocre? That's fine. If you're as long as you're happy with it.
Yeah, I
that's all
kind
that
of just
matters.
want it on the wall just to look at it and be like, yeah, that's cool. But
Yeah.
I really need to. But some people have that eye for it too. You just
Yeah,
have
I see. Like a lot of the taxidermists around here are really good, but like I'm on a couple Facebook pages and I'll see some stuff and
dude, I've seen some Reddit posts and where it's like someone fucking stuck googly eyes on their buck and like those cartoon eyes.
yeah, I'm like that too because like people will post and they'll be like, just got my
Oh, they're so proud.
yeah,
It's like
got hit
piss on their parades, and it's just like, oh my god.
everybody else does.
I know. I just go to the comments and like,
comment.
well,
Yeah, it doesn't look very good.
it's not good. I'm placing about 10 years and it rots away. As long as you're happy with it, it's all right.
Right.
I mean, luckily with a taxidermist, like you could, like a taxidermy deer, if you really wanted to, you could cut the fucking skull cap back off.
That's true.
Yeah.
Again, get it fixed.
My dad did that. So while I was saying he shot a nice deer opening day of shotgun season when I guess it was COVID year 2020, he got it done by Mike, and he hasn't really shot like a mountable buck in years since like the late 90s. So he has older mounts on his wall, and he put Mike's deer up on the wall. And he's like, I got to get my own. This looks night and day. So he got an old one redone from him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Same thing. Hey, my dad shot a smaller buck and he used that cape off of him and
Nice.
that
Yeah.
type of stuff. But yeah,
I've always thought about getting that one redone, but my dad and one of my dad's buddy, that was my first deer /
yeah.
buck ever, and they mounted it together, and I'm like, I can't bring myself to do that. Like,
yeah.
it's slowly deteriorating, and I'm like, I just can't bring myself to.
That'll be the
Have
one
it
that's
redone.
falling apart, and you just got to keep it.
Right,
It's like
right.
when they're old and you can look at it.
Yeah,
Too sentimental.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because that my dad's buddy that we hunted with all the time that helped him with that, like he's not going to be around much longer, and it's
Right.
just like it means too much to.
These ones, all your other ones, I mean, they don't look bad.
No, it's fine.
These ones look real good, though.
The only thing, like honestly, the only thing on that one that you can really tell is like around the ears, like the point of the ears. You can tell that they're starting to like deteriorate a little bit.
I mean, shit, if I could do that, I'd just do on my own deer if I could get them to look like that.
My dad got real into it. Like when he did that, and then after that, I like shot some geese or whatever, and he tried to do that, and it's just like
Geese,
it's just too much.
I feel like a bird's probably harder.
Oh,
you gotta like
Feathers,
you gotta
all the
skin the
detail.
thing out perfectly.
Dude, my buddy, I was trying to learn how to make stuffers.
oh yeah.
My buddy was showing me, he knows how to do it, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck this. Like, it's gonna take way too long to like it's the process, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But I can't even sew. So how the hell fuck am I gonna make a stuffer? Going to I'll be fucking super glue it all together.
That's what I did. Can't tie.
Hot glue.
and Tucker out there just squeezing a bottle and glue it.
Right that thing, boy.
Should be all right.
That ain't work though. I had them haggard looking. They probably work.
I've seen some ugly ones.
Dude,
They definitely were.
We need to break out the stuffer rig more, but they're such a pain to hunt with.
Right.
Every time you use them, you got to put them back in bags and
Yeah.
then carry them in the house because I don't leave them out. You know, I don't trust them in a trailer. I'd be sick if I left them in a trailer and the mice got them or something.
Right. Right.
Yeah, bring them in the house and bag them up and put mothballs in all the bags and keep the bugs and
Right.
shit off them. You can't run them on shitty day. On the days that it's good, well, I guess you don't really need them on those days.
Yeah. You want to pop that on? It's getting a little warm in here.
You getting hot?
Yeah, I'm getting hot. Just throw it on low cool, top right. Like, there you go. There you go. Sorry, guys.
Figured it out.
First hot day of the year. House is a little
Dude,
spicy.
it came out of nowhere too, didn't it?
Yes, it
It was cold Saturday.
Right.
I remember being at Tucker's baseball game, and I was like, it's freezing.
Yeah. Don't worry about that noise. I'll edit that out.
Yeah, I was down in Dover for the NASCAR race, dude. It's like Saturday. I was freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Kept
that
me,
weekend.
beer kept you warm.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, it's like, I can't get out of these clothes fast enough, man. I'm sunburned. I'm fucking hurting.
You got nice glasses, Tan. I think I got one too.
Yeah. It's just the beginning of it. I always have raccoon eyes every year.
You got to get the base layer burn, and then I get pretty tan, but
Yeah, you got like Cherokee in your boy.
Yeah.
Lord, I ain't even. It's just the beginning.
I'm gonna be wow. I work outside too. I'll be pretty tan, but
Just riding mowers.
yeah,
There you go.
I'm watching people install manholes. Not as exciting.
I'm about to get burned. I leave for Punta Cana on Friday.
Oh,
shit.
Gonna get all drunk, lay on the beach, boy.
Yeah, I've never been.
It'll be fun.
I'm
You doing flipping all inclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going with my sister and brother-in-law and my wife are going, and they're like professionals.
Nice.
They go all over the place all the time. They're like, here, we'll just do this and that. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous though. All right, free drinks all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the all inclusive are fun for a honeymoon. And like the first day is like, you're kind of like feeling it out or whatever. But by like day 2 and 3, dude, you're like, keep them coming. Yeah. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Right.
You try to fight off the hangover. You got to hair the dog.
Yeah.
Just keep drinking.
Just keep drinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's it.
just keep drinking.
Dude, I'll tell you what to do. What we learned, but not till the late, is pack like a Yeti or a Stanley with you and take that, and they'll fill that.
Oh, geez.
What?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, they'll fill the whole thing, and you just keep taking.
Go to 7-Eleven.
I mean, it's all
big
included. You
gulp.
paid for it.
Oh, man.
Go get a bunch of big gulp cups from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Take them fuckers.
Yeah, right.
My wife bought like a Yeti. It was like this tall by like the second to last day, and they're like, "You want us to fill that?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Sure. Sounds
It's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. They're a lot of fun though. But you guys killing usually one a year off there, like $1 a year off that property?
Yeah, so we actually have we have a strict management program. So like I said, the property I'm on, we have crop damage tags up there. Even though we don't necessarily have like agriculture crops, we have native plants, which is what we're trying to promote there.
Right.
It's like a natural lands management. So we're trying to take out invasives, all this shit. So the state actually gives us like unlimited antlerless tags. So part of our management program with the hunters we have, it's like you have to shoot a doe first, and then you're only allowed to shoot $1 a year. Even though Delaware, you're allowed to get 2 buck tags, we only allow hunters to shoot one, and they can shoot a quality deer, they can shoot a spike. Doesn't matter. It's only one and done. But yeah, I mean, there's a handful of deer. We had I think 3 go over 130 this year, which was good.
Yeah,
That's like that wiped out our box pretty much.
Really?
That's all we had. Yeah, they shot them fairly early, and
you don't got anything lined up that should be decent this year?
one. I'm trying to figure him out. I found one of his sheds this year. I found, last 2 years I found one side off of him, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think he's old, but he's maybe 135, maybe. He's just, but he's old. He's just mad. He's heavy. I should have brought those antlers too, but
I just feel like here on the East Coast and like northern Delaware and Maryland where we're at, you don't get like, I guess every now and then you get an oddball that's just like a freak, but like we don't have a whole lot of, like, people think an old deer is gonna have a giant rattler. Really, like, I just care about maturity when I'm buck hunting. You know what I mean? Right. I don't really necessarily get wrapped up in the antlers too much. I mean, it's always great when a deer has a nice rack, but
I just think it's property to, it depends on the property.
Yeah.
Right. So like, so like if like for instance, like you're saying, like, this is like the one you're shooting is like as big as they'll get. Like, okay, then you say, okay, size doesn't matter. It's all about maturity.
Right. Yeah.
It's all about the age. But if you're on a spot where you've let a deer get to 6, 7, 8, and you see what they can throw, and you're like, okay, now I'll hunt.
To kill.
Yeah, now I'll hunt off of size rather than age. But and I mean, it is probably a little easier for you because you probably have full control. You probably don't have too much trespassing issues, or
Not that we know of. I mean, I think there's some that goes on, but we have that. We're
I
on
feel like that's everywhere.
all
Right.
the time. So
because like we talked a little bit about before the podcast, but that I listened to that hunter podcast with Lee Lukoski, and that's what he's saying. He's like, every deer at some point, if you have good genetics on your property, is gonna throw a huge rack.
They make
At
that
some
jump.
point, they're gonna make that jump, but you have to be willing to let them grow until they make that jump,
right.
which is a lot easier said than done. It's it's easier if you own the property and you can control all aspects of it, but like public land or like I just lease, right? So you never know whether you're going to get the lease the next year or not.
Right.
You get the opportunity at something that's nice. You gotta take it.
You're looking for more like, okay, is he 4? Is he 5? I'm shooting him. 3.5, maybe. Depending on
how big he is.
Right. So
It's like my dad's deer, man. It's like that deer made like a legit probably 40, 50. I want to measure them, but 40 or 50 inches. I mean, and 4.5 years old. It's like, you got to shoot them.
Right.
There.
Yeah,
somebody else is going to shoot them.
Absolutely.
3.5 to 4.5, he made like a 50-inch jump.
Yeah.
That's why.
50
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I wish I brought the sheds and the skull cap. My dad has a skull. I'll show you pictures, but I mean, it's just a mainframe 10-pointer, maybe 110 inches at 3.5.
Yeah.
I think he had 17 points at 4.5. But it's like you could just tell it's the same deal. Well, he actually had a distinct slice in his ear too. Okay. Trail camera pictures. That's how we confirmed it was that deer.
Right.
And just like
That's pretty crazy.
in 2 years, it might be 200 inches, but I doubt he's either going to get poached or somebody's going to kill him.
Right.
More than likely. I mean, there's always that slight chance. Like he might make it, but it's like
It's that
150
gamble. You gotta shoot that thing. I don't think I'd ever pass one.
No.
If I lived in like Iowa.
Right. Like
something
you said,
like
you all these big farms and stuff, you can more than likely control them or, get on the same page with your neighbors.
Right.
That's a different story, but
Yeah, and that's what he was saying too. Like that's why he's killed so many 200-inch deer in the last 10 years because he's finally figured out like, okay, they can make a 40 to 50-inch jump. It's just when,
right.
it's like, and that's why he's letting a lot of these deer. He's killing 200 inchers at 10 years old.
Right.
Like we're around here, shit. You see I'm not saying everybody does it, but if you never know whether your neighbors are going to shoot that 3-year-old or not. So it's like, what do I do?
Exactly.
It gets tough.
If it makes you happy, you can get your heart pounded and shoot them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, it would be different if you owned your property and you knew all the neighbors and you're all practicing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like all the perfect scenarios. But
What's said to you and what's done is two different things too. Like all on walk and then comes on there, they get a chance to shoot them.
Yeah. Again, like John said, like if it makes you happy, like go for it. Nobody's perfect. I mean, I shot one this year that I obviously should have let walk.
Me too.
I messed up.
Same as well.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Could
Eat
he's
the freezer.
4.5 years old and he didn't grow much at all. But I want to shoot him and
I
should have let him
bigger
walk.
deer than this year than the one I shot. Well, last year, passed bigger deer than the ones I let. The one I shot, I let bigger ones walk after I shot them. You know how it is.
I mean,
Get a tree and
he was just getting caught up in the moment, man.
yeah, he was running, chasing a spike around. I could hear him like in the thicket, like grunting and running, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Got ready, and Spike came down first, and I knew there was another deer with it. I think he was just like a little 7-pointer. He came out, and it was on public land, and I don't know. I shot. I just got that big, and he was grunting, and he turned broadside, and I was like, I can't help myself, and I just let him have it. I smoked his ass too, though. Ran about 40 yards, heard him crash, and went and got him, but.
It's funny. They always talk about like ground shrinkage, when you're up in a tree stand or whatever. But I shot that one out of a ground blind this year, and when you're eye level with them on the ground, they look huge.
Yeah, I do.
That 120-inch buck looked like an elk coming at me.
Dude, that one, the one that I passed, that you found the sheds to, that you found down there.
Yeah,
that one. I was in a ground blind when I passed him, and I was sitting there, dude. And he came in at first, and he didn't look that big. And then the more I started looking at him, I was like, I don't know, man. I might have to shoot him. And my heart started getting, started racing a little bit. And I was like, fuck. And I let him walk. But I'm kind of glad I did because
I considered him on public.
Yeah.
With both brows.
But knowing where he is, I think if he
I
could
know
make,
what you're talking about now.
if he could make it to, if he makes it, which I think he did because you picked the sheds up. I think I'll get a chance at him again. Right. I think he might actually turn into something nice because he was pretty nice last year. I mean, he wasn't huge, but
A lot of good tall brows, probably
yeah,
6-7 inch brow.
yeah.
Nice.
And he was probably only last year, maybe a 3-year-old.
I would say 3.
So he might make that jump this year where he goes, throw him, But at that point, how do you even know which deer's which? Like, how are you good at like that? Is there like a physical thing you see, like the ear? Like, how do you tell?
Sheds.
Yeah, sheds, really. I mean, I feel like year after year, the deer, I mean, unless it's something like an injury happens, they kind of grow the same. I mean, obviously, like you see these 3, they're like identical antlers.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Those are cool. The brows are cool.
yeah. I think, sheds, you can pretty much tell. Or if they have like a physical injury or something.
Yeah,
just
floppy ear, baby.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could tell it. I have a buck and I lost all last year. I actually shot at him, missed him twice.
Oh, God.
First, so much about this game.
Yeah.
You need to put him down.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Hopefully, I don't. I shot at him, missed him one time, and then he came in like 3 nights later. I was hunting out of a ground blind. I've never shot at a deer from a ground blind.
Right.
And this year I said, "The hell with that ground blind," and I hung up a permanent set. And I was like, I can't. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I feel like you're enclosed and you're worried about hitting the window.
Right.
And the second time he came in, I fucking shot. I don't know where I missed. I guess I shot in front of him. I shot the feeder. With a fucking like this loud metal down. It ran off, and then I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this just happened again." And then, like 2 hours later, he came back, was on camera in the dark, eating again. But you could see in the background, you could see my fucking arrow, like my broadhead went through the feeder. I'm like, this stupid fucker doesn't even know that I just shot at him twice.
Was it 2 years ago? I crippled the same deer twice.
Right.
Yeah,
It just happens. I feel like once you like you muff like a shot that you're like, man, it was a chip shot too, dude. He was like freaking 15 yards. I'm embarrassed to say it, but he was. I don't even know how I missed. I guess I don't know.
Shoot down the ground blind is different, man.
It is different. It is. I don't like it. So I said, hell with that thing. I'm embarrassed to even admit that, but it happens. And once you get it in your head and you've already missed, your confidence kind of goes all out the window, and you're like, he came in again, and I was like, I was a mess.
Right.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Maybe this year get him.
Right. How many miles you putting in shed hunting every year?
This year I did about 100. Yeah.
What about you?
I don't track miles.
I know that's right.
I don't start tracking them on Onyx.
Right.
I want to say I was like 128 hours.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Didn't you say when you went to Maine, your first day, you walked like 16 miles?
Jesus.
Yeah, for one antler.
Oh,
that was like 11 years.
Die.
Oh, was that the last one or something you were telling me?
Oh, the green one.
Yeah, like it was a just disgusting antler. But I don't. Yeah, whatever. The terrain there's so much. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's like,
Right.
I was like,
You don't think I'd
feel
make it?
We talked about
I don't know how to.
the last episode, but it's like where they log.
Yeah.
They'll take out like the main trunks, but all the clippings and stuff like that, they just let lay, and then everything grows up through it. So it's like this really
like
tough
neat
terrain.
debris.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it.
No.
I'd be like, they take me back to the cabin.
You could just ride around the roads and
That's probably what I would do.
Try to find him there.
Pick you guys up, try to
They
find
probably do
me.
pick a lot off the roads. I mean,
Yeah,
like most of them.
when a lot of guys are hunting,
Wow.
you hunt them from the road.
I'd go back to the cabin, drink beer, and sit there. I think I'd be like, I'll cook some
Wait
dinner.
for her to come back.
Yeah. I'll be here.
It's like one of the biggest things I want to do is go find a brown elk shed. It's like, I gotta get in shape before I go hit them rock hills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be struggling.
Dude, listen, I thought I was in shape, and I just went snowboarding in Montana, and we got up to the top of the mountain, and I'm like, and all I did was get off the lift and try to buckle my shoe into the board.
My buddy from Kent Island, he he's lived his whole life below sea level or right at sea level. He went to Colorado, and dude, he was fucking coughing up blood and because the altitude. He didn't know. He was like, "What the fuck?" He went out there for business, and he was like having nosebleeds and was in his hotel coughing up blood. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And then I think he went to like an urgent care out there, and he was like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm from Maryland. And I live near the bay." Like they're like, "Oh yeah, you're probably just not used to the altitude. Like the pressure's different or whatever." And
The air's so thick, and it's also super dry.
yeah,
It's like
he was just
where it just dries you out
Yeah.
so quick, dude. It's rough. I remember like even sleeping in the hotel, I just like wake up and like you could just tell like that you weren't used to it. Yeah, it was like not the. They have like zero humidity, so it's like it's really dry.
dry, cold, and
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. How many are you picking up a year on average?
Right around 40. This year I found 46.
All of
Ah,
the 1,000 acres.
Mostly around it. Honestly, I have this stuff in my backyard and I rarely walk like the majority of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly public and private spots I have around it.
Nice.
I mean, we just put so much hunting pressure on it. It's like all the deer kind of go to the outskirts of it and that's really hang out and stuff. So
right.
I got some honey holes around there that I primarily walk, but ran into a lot of boot tracks this year. Ran into somebody trespassing, carried a shed. Yeah.
Ray, did you take it?
No, I didn't. Nope. I was just like, dude, yeah, let me catch you.
Don't come stop.
Yeah.
You stop him.
Yeah. Well, he scared me. I was like,
Really?
whoa. My God. I'm like,
Will you come out of the woods when you were in there or something?
yeah, I was actually, I was on the phone with somebody and I'm walking. I guess he didn't care. I guess he thought he had permission to be there. And yeah, had a little,
He was
he
gonna play
was-
that card.
he was fine. I mean, he understood. He's like, yeah, I'm trespassing.
I know
Like,
I'm
dude.
doing what I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Like-
I'm in the wrong.
I hate that.
Yeah, I know that, deer, but go ahead, take your antler, go home.
Don't come back.
Yeah,
That sucks.
man.
but-
And they know that shit too. They know they're on the wrong property.
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really, it kind of sucks. It's like, what can you really do? I mean,
All right.
I can't get in, like try to hide or something. He just kept on coming, like whatever. But
what's the biggest shed you ever found?
Probably my 5 from 2 years ago. I was in the 70s, low 70s.
wow,
So it was like 160 typical.
wow,
Was the one shed off the deer and disappeared the next.
no kidding.
Damn.
That's not.
That set you found this year was pretty big though.
Yeah, that was like a 68. And, well, there was the 3. I didn't know.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
hard to tell which was the set.
Oh, well,
Same
do you
jeans.
think it's from? I couldn't tell. I don't.
Well, Shane got
I
to see
looked
him
at
in person.
Yeah, I looked at him in person. It was still
weird.
really hard to tell.
Like I never ran into that before.
Yeah.
Where there was 3 sheds in probably like 100-yard square area,
Right,
and they're all pretty much
Identical.
pretty much identical.
no kidding.
All over 60.
Jesus,
So it's like pretty lucky brothers.
what a dream.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God.
Any idea what the biggest you've ever found was?
Probably this one right here. Honestly,
Yeah.
And what do you think that is, Mason?
This one's over 60. And I mean that one. I would say they're both low 60s.
Right.
yeah, it's probably my biggest. I found a set. It was just a perfect clean 8. We rough scored him at like 137, I think.
That's a
but
good eight.
That's a good
yeah, good 8. Just I mean, nice beans, but just no mass or anything. Just
Right.
thin. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably it. I mean, we just don't really grow them that big up home, man. It's like,
Kind of how it is here.
yeah,
It's just
It's got to be something about no ag,
right.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
Just
feel
that
these
for sure. Yeah, that has to play.
I feel like our area and your area, it's very similar.
right.
There is like well, there's more ag here probably, I would say, than up there. But I mean,
Yeah.
primarily the deer that are living here, on the public land, that's just hay,
Right.
and hay and acorns. I guess.
some of them are
Ground, hay. You got a lot of acorns over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year we had a freaking shit ton. It was
Really?
incredible. Yeah. It was
I
awesome.
heard that this year was a really good year for acorns.
Yeah.
Where are you
tough
finding
on
most of them? If you're, is it like all hardwoods?
I mean, kind of everything you can think of. A lot of field edges this year.
Mm.
I found most of them driving around the truck at work. like,
Really?
like, oh, there's one out there. Oh, there's one here just inside the thicket. But yeah, I mean, thickets, edges of fields. I really don't like hunting or shed hunting like big open hardwoods. It's just so tough. Like, I feel like I'm just walking right past them. But
Right.
I feel.
yeah, pretty much bedding areas. I mean, it seems like where I'm at, it's like when you find them, you're finding them.
Yeah.
It's like they're all
100%
kind of
all kinda
congregated and
together.
stuff. But
Mhm.
so I had like spots where it's like, yeah, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna come out with something, more than likely. But yeah, this year I just walked a lot of new places just because I was seeing so much people activity in my other spots, and
So,
it made it tough. But had a pretty good year. 46 is good for me.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
yeah.
good. They picked up one.
I got 2.
Yeah.
One was a shoot and one was a spike.
And it's just like shed hunting in general is just gaining so much popularity, dude.
It is.
Like we talked about it. Me and your dad
I
talked
hate
about it. It's like
I know.
it's just getting crazy.
Social media has made things so hard.
It has.
I mean,
everything fishing too.
Less
double
land.
edged. Yeah. Double edged sword, dude.
It's
I don't want to name names, but I just saw that video that a certain person released about like our fishery up here.
I don't know.
Is
And-
it?
You can say names, dude. He probably doesn't listen.
Yeah, I already commented on him. I'll say it. It's that summertime outdoors guy, or summertime whatever.
So does that mean I share his stuff on Instagram? Should I stop that?
I mean, I don't care, but I left him a hate message.
No, he's not listening.
I left him a message and let him know how I feel. And
What'd you say?
I'm getting pissed off thinking about it right now.
Well, it's through my wall.
I don't appreciate what he did.
What did he say?
I don't know. He didn't say nothing. But if you're listening,
So
yeah,
what
it's
was
not cool.
So what was the video? Him,
Dude, he puts everything on flash, on like everything that we've been doing.
That's where he was.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
I didn't watch
your
it.
notifications.
Dude, he filmed the whole fucking 40-minute video. I'll just say it now because it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because everybody's probably seen it in the Susquehanna up in the rocks.
Oh,
Dude, filmed like the shit we've been doing for the past 10 years.
Right.
Ever since I can get on a boat and do it. He filmed a video. I'm actually getting mad. And like put it out on
Sorry.
like I get it. Like if you want to go fish somewhere, but like keep it.
man.
People just
That's That's the biggest gripe with all the YouTube fishermen, dude. Like,
Dude,
it's everybody.
It started
It's
with
like,
Alan
you know,
Batista last year, and he went up, started doing the dumb little fucking kayak thing, and posting pictures. It's just no respect. Like
right.
people will just sell out to, get their little 15 minutes of fame on the internet, and they don't have regard for the like. I feel like there's a respect thing. You come somewhere.
It sucks because like what they're specifically fishing for is such a limited resource,
Right.
and it's like our
Already getting hit hard.
right, and it does. It gets hit
And
hard.
it's and
It's our little thing. It's like
Yeah.
our little niche in our community.
right.
It's like
and
all these
just
people
locals,
moving.
and we've been doing this since I was little.
Right.
And now you got these guys, and I don't even know where they come from,
Right.
that have just like moved in, and like it used to be like a secret thing. Like you go out in February and catch cows in the river. Now it doesn't fucking matter because, dude, they come and they just spot burn. They post videos. You can see everything. They show you what they're doing, where they're at, and like the past couple of years, it's gotten worse and worse. And this year, and I just like, dude, I commented on his video, and I said, hope your 15 minutes of fame was worth it because.
Yeah.
There's people up there that are crazy that like will make it very hard for you to come back around. Like we're to the point where you're not going to want to.
Sure.
And that's
I mean, it's
it sucks.
It's just like anything else. Like people see these giant fish that are coming out there. All it takes is one picture or a buddy that went with somebody. He's
Right.
like, hey, dude, like I know where we can go catch them next weekend. You know,
Right.
and it's like they're all chasing these giant fish. And
I don't even go
just
there
really
anymore.
there.
Like I'll just night fish because I just get dude. I go out there and see all those boats. It just makes me sick. And I'm like,
Every time I was up there, it's like New York tags, Delaware.
It's crazy.
Dude, it's just like nothing's sacred anymore. It used to have
like a weird group of people that chase them up and down the coast,
Yeah.
and they all come here when they're here, and it's just like,
Have you ever watched Sea Money Fishing?
yeah,
So like I've seen him up there and like talk to Chris and and he never posted a video.
right.
Like he had enough respect to like and common sense not to do that.
I think that's just
And he's got a pretty big following.
right. It's just like any normal civil person with a level head they realize what it is. They realize that it's a limited resource. They realize that it's a sensitive thing, and they know like, okay, these guys are cool with me coming here. I'm not gonna blast it. I'm not gonna ruin it.
What's going to happen is they're going to get it shut down,
Right.
and we're not going to be able to fish anymore.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much on the brink of that.
It's on the brink of it. They've already taken away the April, dude. Like, you know what I would do to be out there on the evening like tonight, out on the flats, fishing up shallow. Dude, imagine if we went out there tonight. We all went fishing, dude. We would fucking whack them on oars in like 2 foot of water, like 50-inch fish.
Oh my God.
And like just like and a 50-inch fish in the river is pretty common. I mean, we catch a lot. Like we catch multiple 50+ inch fish a year,
Man.
But it's just I saw that and just was like, dude, like it made me sick. I was like, what an idiot.
Yeah, it's just all. I mean, there's definitely your people that are chasing fame, and then there's people that are chasing because it's a big thing, just like sheds. They're chasing big sheds or whatever, or that's why public land elk hunting and stuff is popular. Everybody's chasing these giant animals and stuff.
That's why I kind of got away from the social media thing. It's just like you find yourself doing things in the outdoors for the wrong reasons, and I was just kind of like, I got to get away from this and just do it because I'd love to do it.
Right.
I don't need to tell people what I'm doing. Like I don't need to show people what I'm doing. But like some people, they like get off on that like gratification of like,
they like likes, they like the comments,
like the comments, they like that, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like when you're doing that, you're not doing it for the right reason. You're doing it because
I think there's a lot of people that do that.
they just want attention. They just want that, like I said, I hope your 15 minutes of fame was worth it. Because you're not gonna, the people. I mean, I won't because I'm not like that. But there's people up there that'll fucking smash your truck windows out and cut your tires, and they'll make you not want to come.
Right.
Sucks, but
They can just go right on over to Delaware. And they can fish cut bait.
other thing, the Delaware River. Because we used to fish the Delaware River all the time.
All right, dude. Straight out of Port Bend.
And we go out to the Red Can right there. Right there. I'm talking about spots.
Come on.
But I mean,
I
everything
think that spot's a secret.
Hanging off Jersey side.
yeah. But it used to be like, it was kind of like a clique of people that went out and like knew when they were there and caught them. Now you got every hillbilly with a John boat from fucking Castle to Smyrna.
I was one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean,
It was great, and then it just went to shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't go out there and catch it.
Blown out.
Yeah, and it sucks. It just sucks to see stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
But we do it to ourselves through social media and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like deer is one thing because the regulations on deer don't change much from year to year.
I kind of wish they would, though. I feel like the $3 thing in Maryland is a little
Easy to change.
That is crazy, man.
$3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and there's no quality buck. Like, you shoot whatever you want.
Yeah, but we'll come back to that. But the fish is a whole nother thing because, like we were saying, like the season is already in jeopardy as it is. You know, they close 90% of it. We only get 10% of the season. Eventually,
moratorium's coming.
right,
For sure.
they're going to shut the whole thing.
That's going to get shut down. I wouldn't be surprised if next year it happens.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the deer hunting, like, I agree. We should get rid of the $3 limit, you know.
Dude, why do you need to shoot $3 a year?
But we talked about it with, like, me and Mason talked about it with his dad. It's like, you shoot $3 a year off your property. Like, what do you have left?
Yeah.
What do you know,
Like,
you shoot three mature quality bucks. Like, what do you have
Yeah.
left for next year?
Yep.
You know?
But I mean, also, what are the? I mean, I guess you're on a really good farm. What are the odds of shooting 3 mature bucks in a year?
Most people are shooting $3 are all year and a half old. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The chances of shooting 3 mature deer, for one, it probably isn't a smart. Yeah, legally isn't a smart thing. I feel like it's not a smart thing to do if you have a property. Just shoot one,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Because what is it in Delaware? Delaware's one quality buck and then
And then you get
one
a choice tag.
choice tag.
So it can be anything you want. Yep. Could be a spike. Anything over 3 inches of antler.
I like how they do in Delaware too, like on the public lands. I know on like White Clay and stuff, you have to shoot a doe before you're allowed to shoot the buck.
Really?
Right. White clay for sure.
White Clay.
I don't know about
not
the
in
other
Texas.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about
don't think
PA.
so.
I don't know.
But I know in Delaware, you
Yeah.
have to shoot on the public land in White Clay. You have to shoot a doe before you're
Right.
granted.
And they will not count a button buck anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my buddy was named Mr. Button Buck. He shot like 3 bucks. He wasn't qualified for a buck.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he shot 3 button bucks. Yeah, it has to be like a doe fawn or a adult doe.
What do they classify the quality buck as?
Anything with 15-inch greater spread, inside spread,
Okay.
I think, or maybe outside.
And then is Delaware a mobile check-in, or do you have to go to a station?
It's mobile.
It's mobile,
Yeah.
A lot of people are probably lying.
man. And
Dude,
Maryland's the same way, and that's another thing
You
that
just confirm it on your
right.
compass. And it's kind
they're
of shady
getting rid of-
too, because
they've got to fix that system. Like I don't know how you do it. I really don't, just because there's so many hunters. But
right.
Mhm.
the mobile check-in thing is, you know how many people are lying about shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like you could shoot your $3, and then your buddy's got 2 buck tags left, and you're like, man, there's a really big deer here. I'm gonna shoot it and just say, hey, can I use you tag? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that happens all the time.
I know private land guys that aren't even checking deer in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, they're like, my farm, whatever. You know,
I'm
just gonna take it home
I'll
and hang it.
plane it
Yeah.
myself.
It'll
No one's gonna know.
Disabled or dismantled in an hour. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens. Probably more than we think.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you fix that issue, but
Right.
that
like
is
this
one
one
that is
don't.
one that should be under the microscope.
I feel like they do the best they can to try to keep track. And a lot of the times, like even like social media, people rat themselves out.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They'll do it and they just get so ballsy they just put another. And
Yeah.
we know people that's happened to where they just put a picture up.
Right.
And all they do is
On the pod.
Shout out to him.
yeah.
And,
I mean, awesome.
he knows he messed up.
Yeah.
But then, like, the Sika deer thing, like, I saw a guy posted a picture one day. You're only allowed to kill one. I don't know if it's one stag in general or two stags, but not only one in the same day.
No, see, to me, a sick of deer, that's kind of silly. From
Is it 3 stags?
I'm pretty well certain.
Damn.
Well, whatever it was, the guy posted a picture and was like, had a great morning, and he had 2 stags, and there were like immediately like 100 comments like,
Oh, God.
better get this off. Like that's
Dude, get the
illegal.
shit. Shoot all them Chinese bastards anyway. Who
But
cares?
But anyways, like
They take
like
so
within like
They do.
do.
Yeah, like they're like technically they're not native, so who fucking gives they just kill them.
Jesus. I'm in.
I mean, who cares? They came from China.
Did one of your buddies do that? You go to jail?
Yeah, he's in jail right now.
What's up?
shout out there if he's listening in jail.
We should like laughing, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
If you get out of jail, it was Dan. It wasn't me.
That come from, I had nothing to do with that. I've never even shot a sick deer. I don't know what they look like. I just don't understand the whole craze about them. I guess
it's
So much fun to hunt.
really. I mean, it's fun and
Yeah,
it's
fun,
unique.
yeah.
And you can only kill them here, and it's like it's a whole thing, you know.
definitely cool. But
Even
another
that
thing.
thing up on social media.
Yeah, the meat eater came here and did an episode, and then it's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. He never killed one? I don't think he did he? Or,
No, he
I don't
did.
think.
Yeah,
I think the meat eater crew, they only killed one hind.
Yeah.
Like I think that was it. I
Yeah.
think they also struggled,
Man.
but I mean, it's tough.
I mean, it definitely seems kind of cool. I mean, it's a little mini.
I've done it. It's a lot of
stuff.
So you hear
Yeah.
you
Yeah, dude, it's cool.
But probably.
It's the same thing though. It's another. I don't want to say it's limited resource because they're spreading like wildfire, but
They're all the way up in Delaware,
Right.
up in those marshes.
but until they fully spread throughout the state, like it is so specified to that part of Maryland. It's like, and that's what all those locals are complaining about. Like we're complaining about people coming and catching our fish.
yeah,
They're complaining about all these people moving in, killing their.
Because they
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would piss me off.
Right.
Because you got this,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of hidden gem secret thing, and then someone comes
literally-
blows it up, and you're like,
Yeah.
no.
the 2 weeks of gun season, Southern Maryland is just nothing but out-of-staters, and that's what they hate. That's what.
Dude, it's like bigger down there than duck hunting. Like,
Right.
well, my
Yeah.
brother used to guide. He had some spots down in Cambridge. He used to guide for Winter Farms for Dave Price, and we'd go down there, and I'd go with him like every once in a while, help him set up decoys and shit, and keep him company. And dude, we go down there in like November, October, and there's guys just ripping around on Argos, going to like, I'm like, what are these guys all doing?
Yeah.
My brother's like, dude, sick of hunting. It's like it's crazy down here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
And they live for that shit.
You
It is
Yeah.
cool. It is cool. I wish I had a stag on my wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take that Upper Bay trip down there.
That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet if we could find some. If you're out there and you got a sweet piece of property,
There's a lot of
We can get
public.
down public.
There's a lot of
I
public
mean, you got to
land.
draw a Blackwater tag.
Taylor's Island.
I tried Taylor's Island or Fishing Bay. Taylor's Island's tough.
Fishing Bay's pretty good.
Fishing Bay is really good.
That's where I'd like to go.
When I've gone down there duck hunting, I mean, I told you, you basically run over them in the road.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
We could access
But
by boat.
Yeah, you can get in. You can get into any of the spots, but you're gonna need a mud motor because a lot of that shit is super shallow swamp.
That's what's tough
Yeah.
about it too. Is there's such unforgiving down there, like swamp,
Dude.
dude. Especially
We went down there, and on the first day, I dropped my thermocell in the water, and it didn't work for the rest of the week.
I was gonna
It
ask
was
mosquitoes bad.
It's not hard at all. It was like it was on going in for the afternoon, and like the first couple hours, like this isn't bad. Like just one or two, swatting away. To last 30 minutes before dark, I was ready to jump out of the tree. Kill it all.
so we did that that gun hunt on the Eastern Neck Island. Me and my buddy Pat did that, where you can like put in for those tags and gun hunt because it's a federal refuge, so it goes by like federal rules and not state rules. So we went down there, got our permits. Dude, we went down. It was beginning of I think it was like November 4th is the day we picked.
Yeah.
Went down there. You use a straight wall, and dude, we got in the swamp. And it was like mosquitoes. My buddy said it looks like the dude playing the spoons. Like, have you ever seen that guy? Dude, I'm like just like swatting the mosquitoes. Cause I don't think I've ever been bit that many times in my life.
Yeah,
It's brutal. I didn't even see a deer.
Oh God, that's
I thought for sure. I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome. We get to use a gun. It's the rut, and we're in freaking federal refuge.
yeah.
We didn't even. I think EHD hit them pretty bad
Right.
that summer and wiped a lot of them out. But
Damn.
Well, all right. It's hot as balls in this room. I got to get out of here. So let's wrap this up. But before we do, what would be your dream hunt if you could do one?
Bow hunting elk.
Yes, sir. Man, that's what I want.
I hear you.
Yeah.
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 Man, if we should do an Upper Bay trip and just go elk hunting somewhere. Somewhere over the counter.
Yeah, what states are over the counter? Do you know?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't really have a clue.
Right. I think Colorado, there's parts of Colorado where it is and parts that aren't.
Yeah.
Maybe parts of Montana that are over the counter. It's all like county dependent. So some counties are over the counter, some counties aren't.
So we have to do some research.
Right. You'd have to do research.
I'd love to go to Montana just because I feel like that's such a cool place.
We'd have to work out for like a year straight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back in that shape.
Get on that airship with a 100-pound pack on your back.
I'll be walking around, Fair Hill, and I'm like, God damn. Up there, I probably would die. I gotta get back in shape before we do any of that. But
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome, man. It was really good having you on, buddy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's cool.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Deer season rolls around, we'll get another one in here and get a little update from you, see how you're doing. Maybe if you kill another one or whatever, and then you can bring your dad's deer in here and we'll take a look at that.
Yeah,
I wish I brought it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, good, man. But
next time, Mason bring some moose antlers.
Yeah, dude, bring some.
I'll definitely have some next time.
You said they're like from the ground, like a couple feet off the ground.
They are.
That's wild.
How heavy is like it?
So like a big one is 20 pounds, like 20 to 22.
can you imagine carrying that thing around all day?
God.
I felt like
My luck, I find it in the first 5 minutes, and then I just got to carry that around.
because even if you put it on a backpack, it sticks out so far.
Right.
I can carry it on mine.
Try carrying it like a skateboard. Your forearm be on fire.
Dude, I was getting a pump just walking around.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, cool, boys. Anything else from you two, Dan, Mason? Anything before we wrap it up?
No,
We just pass our tests in the week.
Yeah. You're working, boys.
cutting chains.
Lumberjacks.
Fucking logs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what we got. We gotta learn how to use a tourniquet and shit. Don't cut your fucking leg off.
I gotta learn how to
Wear
wear
chaps.
That's probably part of it, brother.
Probably.
It's all together, probably.
I can teach you how to use a tourniquet. I know how to use one.
Yeah, he's bad.
You never cut trees down by yourself, because if you chop your leg off, it's pretty hard to put a tourniquet on yourself.
That's true.
Especially after you've cut your leg with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Not good. Not
Cool.
good.
Well, this is the Upper Bay Podcast. Again, we're on Spotify. If you find us on there, give us a like rating. Download, and this episode will be up on YouTube same time that Spotify episode drops. So if you find us on there, like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Later.